Welcome to Bloody Flicks. I'm your host, Pete.
And I'm Kyle, and we talk about all things bloody.
And this time we're going to talk about the movie
Spare Parts.
From 2020. Alright, this is a Walmart movie that I found for $7.50 called Spare Parts. And it's got some girls with some things attached to her arm that I bought. And you have seen this movie before, but you did not buy it, correct?
No, I seen it at Walmart, and I thought it was interesting, but I never bought it. So yeah, so this is a first time watch for both of us.
Yeah, so I actually said, forget it, threw it in my car, what the heck. I expected it to be a really bad movie, and it actually was priced pretty decent. So the movie Spare Parts is about four punk rock girls that are in a band. Two of them are sisters, two of them are lovers. And they're in a biker bar, like a really heavy biker bar, and they're doing their thing. And some big 6 foot, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3" guy, big 300-pound guy gets on stage, got his arm around the singer, and she gives him a old bam, and all hell breaks loose, and there's a big bar fight. And all four female band members beat the crap out of all these bikers.
And all these girls are like 5'2", I'd say 120 pounds, and
hey,
they beat
hot
the
girls can kick ass too.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of all these big biker dudes.
Yeah, they all know how to fight, like ninja style. They all kick some ass. So right away, I thought this movie I'd watch kind of shut it off or play on my phone. I did not touch my phone the entire movie. It was pretty. I picked my phone once and put it right back down because like another kill happened. So, but they have this big bar scene. So they come out, they're signing autographs in the back of their van because they're trying to make it big. And they have some fans, and a creepy bald guy shows up, and he's really infatuated with them.
Well, with the singer.
With the singer. And coming to find out, he's interested because they can fight. So, of course, they take off down the road. You find out that two of the girls are lovers, but one's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So, at that point, there's a pretty blonde in the band, and she's like dating the other girl, but the one girl's pregnant. So is it a he, she, he? Did they get inseminated? Where did the baby come from? Was she pregnant before? The interested in lesbian? I don't know. It's kind of like a lot of things I kind of wanted to know that they kind of slowed down. She's pregnant, we're lesbians, and she's my girl. It's kind of like that was it, but she was pregnant.
Well, even I think that one of the sisters even asked how that happened. So
and they didn't really elaborate. So.
Yeah.
A little, but you're a $7.50 movie. You're not really wanting all the details. I'm like, where's the details? But yeah, the characters are cool. Of course, they hit road spikes, and they come out and the one's like, "Hey, we put these in the road." I was just like, it's pretty much what you said, and I'm like, what the heck? And then two officers show up, and officers are going to help them.
You know, we're going to take you to the local junkyard and get your tires fixed. So they load their tour van up on the flatbed, and they take them to this junkyard that's outside of town.
Like right 4 miles outside of town.
And so they get there, and they're actually drugged. And when they wake up, they have these attachments on their arms now that like axes, saws, nail guns, battle axes, all kinds of stuff, and they want to have them fight other people. That's the premise of the movie.
Yeah, the actually were drugged up there. The three of them were chloroform, or not chloroform, but they hooked carbon monoxide from a car, ran through a vent, and they sealed up the room and knocked them out, which was kind of cool because what would you do if that happened to you? You'd panic or whatever. So the little panic scene. Which is kind of cool that they actually thought enough to win. Okay, let's see how you would, because...
Well, my thought is, wouldn't the carbon monoxide kill them? Because isn't that kind of like the premise of running a tube from your exhaust into your car?
Over time, I think you can survive it if you have just enough. Now, I don't know if these people in this junkyard were doctors. They had to been because they took care of salt farms, but they must have knew the right carbon dioxide air ratio not to kill them. Because I had that same thought, I'm like, wouldn't they be dead because there's so much carbon monoxide? The one girl gets chloroform, the main lead singer, she gets chloroform from behind. But yeah, so we find out that it's the bald guy you meet in the beginning who's in love secretly and infatuated with the lead singer. His dad is Czar, Lord of the Junkyard, and he has random killings to give blood back to the earth, or blood to the soil,
Yeah.
so there could be life or some shit like that.
So basically, they're like a cult.
they're a cult.
Yeah, they're kind of like a cult because that he's talking about a guy.
Oh, that was
yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre review. I thought we were getting the cult thing again. My bad. Anyway, we're on the spare parts review.
And they were almost like a cult because they're
They
talking
were a
about.
cult.
Yeah.
They were a cult. Well, because they have like
So 2 cult movies hit back to back.
so they have this junkyard that's right outside town. Because during the movie, the boyfriend of the lead singer gets a hold of the guy in the bar, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just like 4 miles outside of town." So this cult that's outside of town, the only plausible explanation was the cops were in on it, and being such a small town that's why everybody just stayed away from that area. So I was like, okay, I kind of let that one slide. They have like a committee. You got the dad that kind of has this black hair parted thing, kind of looks like some weird science fiction type character. I was trying to think of the movie that he was in.
Well, I know him as Death in Supernatural. That's where I've seen him from. So.
Okay, because I was like, where did I know this guy from? So the dad's in charge, give blood back to soil so the world can live on or some crap. I don't remember the line, and he has this panel of people. But the funny part is when they saw off from the elbow to the hand, they cut their right arms off.
But they leave like their
The two bones.
Yeah, your bone stump there, and that's what they attach the saw or whatever to.
Well, there's a metal bracket around
Yeah.
the wrist right here, and then they have like the rivets, so they put it on the bone and then they lock it in place or whatever. So you can tell the bone looks extremely fake. It just doesn't like it's. But I can't tell if it was CGI or I'm sure it was CGI because that was what they block it out, but or some kind of green screen technology or whatever. But okay, I'm like, okay, it's a cheesy movie. What do you expect? Then the 4 girls hit the battle to the death, and they end up actually kicking ass.
Well, 3 out of the 4 do.
Well, yeah, the pregnant girl dies fairly quickly.
Well, technically wasn't pregnant anymore because when she said she was pregnant,
That's right.
the main guy goes, "We're not barbarians. We're not going to let a pregnant girl fight." So he pulls out this little jar.
They cut the baby out of her.
They cut the baby out of her, and that was probably the one shocking moment in the movie.
Yeah, so it's pretty much that fight for their life. They survived the first couple of battles. The pregnant girl, the girl that was pregnant, she ends up dying. So you have the 3 main ones left. And they bring back their toughest challenge yet. So in the time, I guess there was a guy that had survived these battles before, and he's now the trainer of, like, he trains you. So now they're going to give these girls training on how to fight better. But yeah, you want them to die, to put the blood in the soil, but you're going to train them to fight better so they don't die. I'm not sure how that works. But he's training them for their ultimate challenge, and who shows up for their ultimate challenge?
The bikers that they kicked their ass at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so you have these 3 biker dudes show up right into their motorcycles. Now, anybody knows when you've had a motorcycle, when you take the motorcycle out of gear, it can idle, but it does not run. Because if it's still running, it's going to take off on you. So the bike is either off or at idle. It's not on, it's not moving. Well, they have a big battle scene, and they have some good kills. The kills in this movie is worth watching the movie. I mean, it's cheesy plot, kind of dumb. The girls, no nudity.
Well, kinda, sorta. When the main girl Emma, the singer, was having that dream that her boyfriend was screwing her sister, there was kind of a little side, but it wasn't like full on.
Yeah, but you had sexy, cute girls in there. Badass fighting. That carried the movie by far. But the death scenes were kind of cool. Really good, I thought. You thought they were kind of the same?
Well, there was a couple that looked like they were kind of repetitive, like they did the same style kill, but they just changed it a little bit. Like the kill we're talking about with the motorcycle. they take the motorcycle, the back tires still spin, and she shoves the guy's face into the spokes, and it's
That was my favorite kill.
kind of filmed up from underneath, and you see his face get kind of like sliced like cheese till it's the skull. Well, then, and another kill, she takes the chainsaw and kind of cuts the guy's face off that way too, and it's just like, okay, you kind of did the same kill, you just changed it up a little bit. That was my only gripe was the kills were the kind of style was a little repetitive.
But you are also really picky about your kills too.
Plus, you know, it's like you're in a junkyard. You could look at all the kind of things around that you could have used as murder weapons, and that the kills could have been a little more creative. That was my only.
Yeah, the trainer got impaled onto a part of a car sticking out, like a muffler or something sticking out. But the bike scene was my favorite kill. It was the dumbest kill at the same time because somehow the back tire is spinning, so that implies the bike was on the entire time. I don't remember getting on the bike and trying to ride it at somebody. I remember the bike fell over.
Mm-hmm.
The back wheel was still turning, and it was spokes. And he takes, and the cool thing was it's filmed up from underneath. So you actually see the guy's face get sliced like cheese. That was the coolest kill, but the whole time I'm thinking, how'd the bike get turned on? Like if it was running, the bike would just took off. It made no sense, but a cheap horror movie, I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot of sense out of there. Yeah, the kills were good. Then they, of course, they want there's two left now, the two sisters. And they want them to fight each other, and of course they're not going to. And your part that made no sense is the big black dude that was the trainer. He gets the one that gets impaled. I mean, pretty much through his heart. He gets this part of this car that he gets knocked up against because he's going to fight as the third. And he ends up surviving. So it's like you got people that die for less to them. He gets impaled through the heart pretty much. But he survives.
Oh, well, and then the one sister, she gets shot in the face, and clearly it could have been something that she could have probably lived through. She dies, but like I said,
It was a graze, yeah.
Yeah, she dies, but the guy that gets impaled through the exhaust, he lives. And that makes no sense, but okay.
Yeah, so I mean, you got some cool kills. The kills are cool. The fight scenes, good music. They just had a bunch of cool rock music in there. It was really cool. At the end, the two sisters survive, but some of the attachments, the guy, the son who's in love with the lead singer, he gives her a special battle axe on her and puts it on her. And when she turns her hand like this, nails come out. Like 3 or 4 nails come out and hit the wall. And she's like, oh, that's cool, badass. So later on, she shoots someone in the crowd or on the panel, but like 20 come out, like faster. So like somehow she could control how many nails come out, which is really weird. It's like, I just was like, I don't know. It's like also now it's a machine gun, a nail machine gun or something.
And then the other sister, they made her a female Ash, basically. They gave her a chainsaw. Right.
That would not be okay, I would not want a chainsaw. Chainsaw's going to break down. You can break the chain. I would rather have an axe or a sword or something. The chainsaws now would not be my favorite weapon if I had to be in a death arena. I mean, yeah, you can slice somebody, but slices them with the axe or a sword is going to be a lot more deadly than slicing with a chainsaw. Because if that chainsaw stops...
Well, and my thought is, how could she control the throttle?
How's it turn on?
Yeah, unless they have it rigged so it stays on all the time because she ain't got a finger.
So there's a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stupid stuff that makes no sense.
But it's still cool at the same time, which is really, really weird. So then the sisters become, the lead singer becomes the new czar or king because she kills the dad. Well, what about her new lover? Her boyfriend lover that she pretended to be in love with.
Well, at first it made it look like she killed him.
Yeah, it did.
But then they cut his arm off and put a weapon on, and...
The police officer.
Yeah, and the police officer, too, that was in on it, and they make them fight it out till the death at the very end. And that's how it ends.
Blood in the earth or blood in the spoil, whatever. So, so Spare Parts is... For 7 out of 50 cents is worth watching. It's a good popcorn movie. Get some popcorn, listen to some rock and roll, and watch some hot chicks beat the crap out of some stuff with really a blah plot. I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed the movie. I'm not saying I would sit and watch it all the time, but it was surprisingly good. I have turned off movies that were supposed to be better than that. I don't know, what did you think?
most of the characters I didn't really care for. The
Character.
main Emma, which is the lead singer, I think if they would have took the pregnant part away from the lesbian girl, because she died right off the bat, so it's like, what was the point of that? Was that just to make? Was that supposed to be for
Sentimental.
shock value or what? If they would have gave that the pregnancy to her, and then that was something that she had to overcome. Hey, they took her baby, and that I think it would have made her character a lot better. But most of the other characters, I just didn't really care for. Other than that, the kills were good, and most of the effects actually did look practical. I really couldn't tell if there was any CGI. It's one of those movies where it was a good premise, and it was somewhat fairly executed well.
You can tell it's on cheap budget.
Yeah.
Because let's go to this junkyard and make a movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
But done well.
Yeah, done well. I'd say if I had to give it a rating, I'd give it 3 out of 5 blood drops.
Yeah, I'd say I'd give it 3 out of 5 blood drops too. It's a fun movie to watch. You turn it on, you have a few drinks with your friends, have a guy night or whatever, or a girl night, and watch some girls kick some ass with some good music. Don't worry about the plot.
Or
laugh at the stupid details, which I did, but it kept my interest. And for $7.50, I'll tell you what, 3 out of 5 I was pretty impressed with it. I thought it was gonna be like turn off right away. So I don't know, but anyway, that's our review on Spare Parts. And until next time,
stay bloody.